Big Herc 916, positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. Go pick you up some merch at nsfa.co. You know, it never ceases to amaze me when I sit back and I just look at this whole layout of the hologram that we're in and how it plays out, and how whenever there's any type of disruption or glitch, they're real quick to correct it, and there's agents within the matrix, within this hologram, that are sent out to carry out whatever needs to be carried out. And I tell you, it's like the situation with the whole Kyrie thing, and the fact that he tweeted something and it didn't mean that he necessarily promoted all the contents of it, but he happened to share something and was crucified for it. And I hadn't seen it, but I only heard about it, and I heard that there was a quote that was attributed to Hitler that he mentioned that was anti-Semitic in the documentary, and that made the whole documentary anti-Semitic. But at the end of the day, come to find out that Amazon is doing a $1 billion streaming deal with the NBA, so they're not being held accountable, but Kyrie is, even though Amazon has billions of influencers, people who buy their products across the globe. But you know, what I say is, when they have the agents, they have other NBA guys come out, Kyrie talking about he should be suspended, and sure enough, he got suspended. Now, I don't think any type of negative depictions of any culture should be promoted, because in order to build a stronger humanity, we need to show unity among the cultures, because it's all, you know, this race and all this stuff is all meant to have everybody creating superiority complex and class systems. But when you look at this and how they're using this man as an example, and they're just media whipping him, it kind of makes you wonder, is it really about him and the documentary, or his stance he had when he didn't participate in the whole movement, which, you know what, he didn't go for it. And they were really vocal about him with that. They wanted to kick him out the league. I mean, you had these guys sitting on there, oh man, he should be doing this, he's letting his team down, this and that, and then now all the information comes out that it's all bad. And they're letting people with back pay come back. So you see how it all plays out? You see how these guys, you know, when you don't do something right when they want you to because you're not a follower, how you're chastised. And that's what they continue to do to people who they think will have a possibility of creating change or influences. They whip them back into position. Whoop them. Nobody's whooping Jeff Bezos or Amazon, or for the Jeffrey Dahmer, or for some of this other just grotesque stuff I see on there. This stuff I see on some of these streaming networks, man, horrible. I don't know who produced it, who funded it. Some of the stuff I would never watch. I would never want to watch about a white guy that was eating black people, you know, some cannibal dude who was just disgusting, and you know, now somebody's making money off this guy's legacy, which is just a horrible legacy. I would never want to watch that. I didn't watch it. I watched the one thing about the guy who got away, and that was enough for me to say, you know what, I seen his actual court testimony, and from there I was done. I'm like, this is not something, I don't even want those type of, I don't want that data even inputted into my database. I don't want that information in my head. But that's the type of stuff, man, that, you know, you look at, like, you know, all these different platforms, there's stuff on there about some regimes that were very negative, just slavery, all type of stuff, man. But yet somebody's making money off of it. And people promote it. They promote it on some of these other platforms for advertising. So advertising dollars are behind it. Are they being held accountable for what they're advertising behind, supporting? Because without the advertising dollars, these movies would cease to exist, these documentaries. And all, like I say, these quote unquote black so-called retired male basketball players have nothing to do but point the finger. And most of them probably hadn't even seen the documentary. And like I said, I'm not here to support the documentary. I'm just saying they hadn't even watched it. They just jumped on a bandwagon and they pushed the button and they became agents and they all went on attack mode. Just like they went on attack mode when he didn't get the... Open your eyes, people. Look at what they do. Look at what they do, man. It's eye awakening, you know. It's eye awakening. And like I said, I haven't watched the documentary. I'm not, supporting the documentary. I don't know the contents of it. I don't even have time to watch it because I'm reading other stuff and elevating my mind. Trying to consciously awaken my other viewers on other topics. But I'm just saying, whenever you start to be anything of a voice or a free thinker, people will come after you. Now, there are a lot of, and like I said, he didn't produce the documentary. Now, the people who produced it, where are they at? What about the people who actually backed Hitler, who were a part of his whole destructive platform? I believe it was IBM. I believe it was Ford. Some of these other big companies were behind some of the things that allowed this animal to do what he was doing. Some of the banks. Who were the insurance companies behind the slave ships? Who were some of the people who financed those trips? Why we keep talking about slavery? You guys better remember where you came from. You guys you might have a little bit, but you came from... Why? How many times we got to see a slave movie? I'm sick of them. You guys sick of them? I'm just asking. Is that all we all remember? Nah, I don't remember. I don't want somebody to think that I'm lesser because you thought or you think I came from that. What if I didn't come from that? I'm not. There's people that came from. There's a lot of people that came from it. But what if my particular background didn't come from that? That's what gives me a fire inside to speak up. Maybe I was one of those defiant ones, and I bucked. Believe me, I've been under a lot of scrutiny, and I've had people in jail. The same thing, trying to break. You're an inmate. You're a convict. You're this and that. Didn't go for it. So, just something to think about, man. Big Herc 916. Never settle for average has always been my motto in life. So I've been fortunate enough to get together with the brand NSFA and become a brand ambassador, because there's no room for mediocrity in life. So whether you're out here and you're an athlete, you're in entertainment, you're a business person, represent and pick you up a hat. And for those of you who are law enforcement, military, veterans, first responders, use code USA15 and get 15% off. Click the link in the description and never settle for average. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.
Hello,
I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.